Welcome guys to the Sony Xperia Z2 tips and tricks video here from Germany. So the Z2 just came out and we have a few tips for you guys how to use it every day better than you would maybe out of the box with your standard Android knowledge. Now the first thing I want to tell you guys is that now we have a Sony also the possibility to wake the device up with a double tap on the screen and just sliding it. You don't have to press the button on the side anymore to wake it up like that, and that makes it much easier if it's just lying on the ground or on the table and you don't want to grab the whole device and maybe press the button somehow. Just double tapping it is much easier, and you easily can enable by sliding here down, going to the settings and then going to display, and right here on the bottom you have tap to wake up, double tap the screen to wake up the device. This is a quite cool feature if you ask me, so just enable it to have this feature like you already know from Nokia smartphones, the LG G2 and other LG smartphones, and for example the brand new HTC One M8. Now you can also see we have a few other options here, like the notification light you can turn on and off, which would blink right here. You have the smart backlight control, which is also quite handy if you're looking at a picture and the backlight would turn off after a minute or 30 seconds or whatever you set for the timeout. It will know that you're still looking at the device and not turn off the screen. Otherwise, there's also now the possibility to adjust the white balance for yourself. A thing that Sony had a lot of problems with in the past. Now you can see here I can set it a bit reddish, greenish or bluish, or just of course set all of these to a same level, so you have maybe a little bit darker screen but it still looks quite balanced. But you can also set it back to default values, which are 0. Glove mode, reality also all quite great features. But let's go on with other tips. Like for example, you were able to see you can just slide down with 2 fingers to get right away to the quick settings, which otherwise with 1 finger would only bring you to the notifications. Like for example that have a open Wi-Fi network available, so you eliminate 1 button hit. Now you can see I have only 12 icons here, but I can set these for less or more. Like for example I don't want these, and I can just untick them, go home, slide down, and now I only have 8 icons. But you can set it up to 12, and you can also set up in which order they should be. Like for example Wi-Fi hotspot a little bit more to the end, so you can see now it's right here. Now of course what's also quite interesting is you were able to see it before, maybe the stamina setting or just power saving mode. Power management here, you can see I have up to 16 days and 9 hours left if I would use the device like I'm using it right now, with a little bit of Wi-Fi, no data, so that's why it says this amazing number. But if you enable stamina mode or just disable it, it can be less, and if you enable it, you can save a lot of power by only using apps, for example, that you want to when you are in when the display is off. Like for example I have only Gmail in my list, which can also access data when the smartphone is in my pocket. But I can also tell, for example, Box should always synchronize, or Google Chrome, my contacts, and so on and so on. So WhatsApp, Facebook messages and everything will always arrive when the device is in your pocket. But still the Sony Z2 will use less power, especially if you say that the standby should be extended or the battery should be extended by disabling a lot of performance features, which is also quite handy. So the processor doesn't need so much power if it's just doing standard stuff in the background. You can also queue background data, so you can tell the phone when that it only should send data in intervals, so not every minute it should check your email, so just every 5 to 10 or 30 minutes. You can see with my battery usage, the main power distractor is the screen, and everything else is actually quite not that power intensive. So there's still a lot more settings I can show you, like for example a really interesting thing that is not actually in the settings but is brand new with Sony, which you should definitely enable, is when you start up the camera and you want to shoot photos or videos, especially in the video part. Not only that 4K feature is quite new, but now you have also here, if you go to the settings, this steady shot feature, which means that your videos when you shoot them will be more stable and steady, as it says in the name. So when you're running or walking just with the camera while you're doing a video, the result will be a lot better. So what you should also not forget is that in the box there is noise cancellation headset inside, which is maybe not enabled in the settings for you to use. So if you just go to sound and audio accessories, you can see here that we have two accessories, actually the noise cancelling headset that's inside the box, and you can buy for just 30 bucks the STM10, which is a stereo microphone, which is also a 5 pole connector. Both have noise cancellation, really great sound, and you should definitely activate them here in the accessories that they will be used. Also there's sound effects, volumes, and all kinds of other features here that you should choose from if you want that. Now, one other feature is the brand new What's New feature, which is enabled by just holding the home button and going to the left, or you can see actually here the widget also on the home screen. But this is quite handy, only Sony features, since Sony has also PlayStation, entertainment, music and everything. They give you also some tips what you should check out, what you should listen to, buy or play on your smartphone. But also here in Google Now, if you haven't used it yet, you have also the feature to do voice searching with just saying Google Now or OK Google, and then you can start to search. And these were actually all my tips and tricks for the first usage of the brand new Sony Xperia Z2. There's probably quite a few more, but these are, I think, the basic settings that you should check out. Don't forget to check out my review also to the Sony Xperia Z2 to see all the features and my opinion about the device. Thank you much for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel.